doing today? You know me. I'm that guy. You know, that guy. But I'm not that guy, because that guy has some issues. You know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. His name's in the title. Oh, wait, no, it's not. But it's in the description. And he's got problems. And that's all I've got to say about that. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Yes. Good morning. Nothing like the smell of scandal in the morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It is Tuesday, the 2nd of March, 2021. Yes, you have 40-something days to get your taxes done if you haven't done them already. So start working on that. I know mine are going to be a little more complicated this year just because of a few things that have happened in my life that require you to do some extra diligence when you do that stuff. I just started thinking about that yesterday going, I should probably check into a couple things because we got to figure some stuff out. Anyway, good morning. How you doing, everybody? It is, like I said, it's Tuesday, and I got here on time. In fact, I got here on time to have my all my stuff ready, all my toys and things. And we're going to talk a little bit about Andrew Cuomo today. He seems to be in the news quite a bit lately. Like almost every day, something new pops up. No pun intended. Well, and also, you know, there's a curious thing going on in Canada. Now, it's not I only really have 2 articles about it, but it's curious because I thought things here were getting weird. Or the other day, for example, the other day we did a story about New Zealand, how one case of COVID popped up and they shut down an entire city for it. And I was like, damn, they're going hog wild on this stuff. And, I get it. It's one of the, you want people to be safe, but damn, it's just weird. Anyway, well, there you go. Our first sponsor of the day. Thank you, Kyle, who chose to be the first sponsor of the day through Streamlabs today, who says, hello, chat people and P-Dawg. Well, good morning to you too, Kyle. In fact, good morning to all of you. Oh shoot, now I just realized I put a new screen cover on my phone, and it's one of those that only lets you see things. Like it kind of protects you from people seeing your stuff from the side, but I use it for my soundboard. I can hardly see it now because of the angle. So I need a bit of better angle on this bad boy. Anyway, let's say good morning to the rest of you too, because, that's what I do. Now, today, the first person in the chat was our good friend Becca Fairley, who gets the bell. Oh, that was rather soft. Let me see if I can fix that. Hey, there we go. That's a much better bell. And also thank you, Becca, for sending out the show. Did I finish doing this? Yeah, I did send these out this morning. Yes, I did send the notifications out on all the social media platforms I'm on: Twitter, Minds, Gab, Parler, and CloudHub. By the way, did you hear Gab had a breach, so to speak? We'll talk about that a little bit later, too. Anyway, also good morning, too. Legit Low Talker here's early. Nice to see you. Mike Savage, Blarg. Good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Good morning, Sheograth, who always gives us a little howdy bigots. Good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning, Aaron Meredith. Good morning, Cindy Rochelle, in her new warm and comfortable abode down there in Florida. Also, heroic Nico, nice to see you again. Good morning, Jesse Leon. Good morning to Why Are You So Angry? Who says for after the show, Weeping Angel Technology 101, but don't fear. Chris Christie and Major Beetlejuice are on it. Oh, I guess I should probably figure out what the hell that means. Also, good morning to MC is in the house.
Hammer time.
And good morning, James PFP. Nice to see you. Good morning, chat. And oh, that's a salute to Dawg Knight. Thank you, sir. Good morning, Jonathan Peterson. Good morning, Gunfox61. Good morning to this is jazz. I don't know. I see. You were talking about the music on the kind of the house techno thing I got going on my countdown music. You know, I have to make a new video for countdown music because it's winter's almost over and I'm starting to see hints of springtime, so I am going to change it up for the spring. Anyway, also good morning to let's see, I got to scroll down a little bit. Good morning to a horrible gamer. I wonder if this P-Dawg Towns looks like a good place to grow up in. No, the preview video is not where I live. It's just a compilation of different towns and cities that I found some video of. Anyway, thanks for asking. Also, good morning to James Colley. What's up? Nice to see you. Get on with it, Boomer. You're sometimes you're just a little impatient. I have a schedule and it tells you when it's going to start. So anyway, you knew that though. You're just messing with me. I know. Also, good morning, Lord Stanhope, Cultist 4, Don Keatic, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
We know who you really are. Also, good morning too. Let's see as I scroll down here a little bit. Small man, what's up? San. Let's see. Grill and Pirate Pete, nice to see you. Listenica Lindsay, Duck Dog, Sean DW's in the house. Am I missing somebody? Tyler F. Michael Hatfield. I accidentally skipped Advocatus Diablo, the Devil's Advocate. Zablaze in the house. Nice to see ya. And I think that is it. Oh, Peter Allman, Green Badger Outdoors, and Scotty Dubs also are here. So a whole bunch of you are here this morning. That's a good thing. Just a real quick before you forget, or I'll remind you later, if you like what goes on during the show, make sure you hit the like button down here. Also, please share the stream out. I see a few of you are in the process of doing that via notifications. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay and Becca Fairley, for tweeting out the show. Also, the Jack Cochran tweeted out the show this morning. Thank you, sir. I know you're not here right now, but I know every once in a while you watch on the replay, so I appreciate that. Also, if you are watching in a replay, go ahead and throw a comment in the comment section, because that helps too. Every little interaction with YouTube helps. And then if you want to be a sponsor of the show, you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or through YouTube Super Chats, or through Venmo and Cashapp. But Streamlabs and Super Chats, I will read your message live during the show. So there you go. Also, good morning, Annalyn. Nice to see you made it just in time for me to talk about the great Andrew Cuomo. Yes, Andrew Cuomo's in the news again because they're just coming out of the woodwork. So Andrew Cuomo, oh shoot, what's going on here? Well, a third woman has reported Andrew Cuomo and accused him of making unwanted advances. This time it was at a wedding. Is this the sausage lady? I think so. Maybe not. Anyway, here's the New York Post article. Because oh shoot, let me straighten this out a little bit first. All right, there we go. Andrew Cuomo accused of making unwanted advances at a wedding. So it seems like Now, I'm just saying, and remember when Brett Kavanaugh was being nominated for the Supreme Court, and, what's the dingy lady from California who really no one could corroborate her story, and then the other lady came out and they couldn't corroborate her story, and then another woman said something, they couldn't corroborate her story, and then the two of the three retracted, and the one still got in the hearing and acted like a goofball and still had a story that didn't even make sense, because how do you not remember how you got home from somewhere if it was so traumatic? You'd remember the long walk home, but she couldn't remember it. But everyone said, listen and believe, including Andrew Cuomo. Listen and believe. Well, now in these cases, there is definitely connections, right? There are definitely connections, and there are opportunities, and actually in some of them there's even Andrew Cuomo seems in his so-called apology doesn't seem to be denying anything that these women are saying. He just seems to be saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that he gave you the classic, if I offended you unintentionally, well, I'm sorry you were offended." One of those. Good morning, Justin Anderson. How you doing? Nice to see you. So here it is. Andrew Cuomo accused of making unwanted advances at a wedding. A third woman came forward Monday to accuse New York Governor Andrew Cuomo of inappropriate sexual behavior, saying he grabbed and kissed her at a 2019 wedding. Ann Ruck, or Rooch, I don't know how you say it exactly, told the New York Times that the 63-year-old governor made unwanted advances towards her and planted an unsolicited kiss on her cheek at a reception in Manhattan. Now, okay, the kiss on the cheek. And here's the thing. He said, "Can I kiss you?" Rich, I'll just call her Rutch. Rutch recalled, "I was so confused and shocked and embarrassed." Well, and he kissed her on the cheek. Again, sometimes you go, is that, anyway, let me finish this. The allegation comes after two former state staffers accused Cuomo of sexual harassment on the job, including one who claimed the governor kissed her without warning at his Manhattan office, which he has denied. Unlike the other two women, Rutch has never been employed by the governor or the state, according to the Times. And there's one of the New York Post covers. A woman, Anna Rutch, said Governor Cuomo placed his hands on her cheeks at a wedding party. Is that her? They have pictures of it? Is this the wedding party? And asked if he could kiss her. Rutch, a former member of the Obama administration and the 2020 Biden campaign, said she met Cuomo at the crowded wedding reception in 2019. Within moments of being introduced, Rutch claims the governor put his hands on the small of her lower back, which was exposed in an open back dress. Okay, that's not appropriate. Stop, Marty. I have promptly removed his hand with my hand, which I would have thought was a clear enough indicator that I was not wanting him to touch me. Don't touch me, motherfucker. And she told the Times, but the governor apparently didn't get that. He allegedly noted that Rutch seemed aggressive and then placed his hands on her cheeks and asked if he could kiss her, loudly enough for friends of Rutch's to hear. According to the report, we might have some witnesses. Woohoo. I turned my head away and didn't have words in that moment, Rutch said. Rutch said she was so shocked she had to ask a friend whether the governor's lip had actually touched her face. As she was pulling away, she was told that he kissed her on the cheek. The pal captured the creepy encounter in a series of photographs, including one Rutch also provided to the Post that shows Cuomo grasping her face, which would be that picture right there. Okay. Like, why are you touching this woman's face? Look at the look on her face, too. She looks terrified. And he looks creepy. Anyway, in the act of impunity that strikes me, Rutch says, I didn't have a choice in that matter. I didn't have a choice of his physical dominance over me at that moment. And that's what infuriates me. After the encounter, Rutch said her friend looked at me and said, "Are you okay?" with such genuine concern in her face that I realized how obviously inappropriate it was. Later, she tried to find the governor at the reception to give him a piece of her mind, but she couldn't track him down. I would have rather just said it that night, Rutch said. I wanted to say, that was not okay. She added, I felt so uncomfortable and embarrassed that when really he's the one who should have been embarrassed. Reached by the Post on Monday night, Rutch said the photo of Cuomo clutching her face speaks for itself. The photo pretty much sums it up. Gross. What the F? She said, adding, every woman has to go through this in the 21st century. Really? You know what? I don't know that I've ever I don't know that I've ever just grabbed some woman by the face that I didn't really know, that wouldn't have expected it, that I didn't have a really close relationship with, that I don't know about that. That's weird. He's a governor, he's the governor of New York, and he's a New Yorker, and New Yorkers do crazy shit like that, because I'm from New York, and I'm Italian, and we're touchy and feely and all that, and I'm a New Yorker. Is that what he would say? Is that a good imitation of Mario, or not Mario? Which Cuomo is this? This is Andrew Cuomo. I don't know. The bride from the 2019 nuptials was the governor. Oh, the governor officiated at a Manhattan restaurant. Toro also applauded Rutch for coming forward. This pattern of behavior is completely unacceptable, a fellow Obama White House staffer wrote on Instagram along with the photo of the governor and Rutch. So, yeah. She got some photo evidence. What the hell is that? Oh, those are eggs. I thought that was like a bad poop job. Anyway, Lucifer Never Changed. How you doing? Nice to see you. And also People's Front of Canada. Oh, good. We're going to talk about Canada today. So good to have a Canadian in the place. And also good morning, Kyle. I know that not every woman has to go through that. Yeah, I'm that exactly, Kyle. I'm like, what do you mean every woman has to go through that? Well, maybe if every woman who comes around Andrew Cuomo, I don't know. Anyway, so it's funny because another interesting tidbit has popped up in the ethersphere, also known as the internet. By the way, if anyone's here that isn't already subscribed, would you please take the moment and hit the subscribe button down below, because and also ring the bell so you get notifications, or you can follow me on just about any social media. I'm always at PDawgKnight, like right up here, even though I only have Twitter's, Minds, Gab, and Parler up here. I'm PDawgKnight on CloudHub, Twitter's, Minds, Gab, Parler, BitChute, Trovo, Rumble, Odyssey, DLive, you name it. If you're looking for me and you're looking, just find PDawgKnight. If I ever get yeeted off of YouTube, I'll be on Trovo and DLive and all these other places. Minds is a good place to find me. Now look, let me just remind you, the stuff I'm mostly active on are Twitter and YouTube. Okay. The only place that I'm not PDawgKnight is on Instagram. On Instagram, I am Yes That Marty. And I don't really go on Instagram a lot, although I'm going to start posting some of my... I'm going to start using... What I've used Instagram for in the past is mostly photos of either special events, my garden stuff, or sometimes travel stuff. So that's what you're going to see on that. And eventually, my Marty's Big Journey YouTube channel, I'm going to start posting a lot of the video from a lot of the travel stuff that we do. I'm finally starting to edit some of those travel videos, so if you ever want to see stuff on there, that's called Marty's Big Journey. And then I also have the Instagram, Yes That Marty. So anyway, just FYI. Okay, real quick. Thank you, Gunfox61. And Gunfox61,
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
I apologize, Kyle. I never gave you one of those, but you were it until just now. Thank you, Gunfox61, with another sponsor on Streamlabs, who says, "Ah, yes, so shocking, a liberal touching women. Oh, yes, all women this day and age have been just touching them all day. Give me a break. The left are Marxist assholes, just like China is a bunch of assholes." What was that?
China is asshole.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, GodFox61. I appreciate the continual support. And again, if you want to be a sponsor, Streamlabs and YouTube Super Chats during the show. Actually, Streamlabs 24 hours a day. But anyway, so now, since Cuomo seems to be quite the topic du jour, other things have popped up, and this one is really, I mean, you think the grabbing the face is creepy. Now, here's the thing. If I'm around people I know really well, okay, friends, and I mean, and female friends who know me, we've interacted for years, and it's, we know, what kind of jokes I make and stuff like that. I'm not, every once in a while, the people you know the best, you can make, off-color jokes and not have a real issue with it, because you all know each other. It's like, you've known each other for a while, you get a feel for what kind of humor they're like, and you can make silly jokes, right? But this one's a little bit cringy, because this is someone that I'm pretty sure Cuomo doesn't know that well at all. And this is, whoops, hang on, let me pause. So this video pops up of Cuomo, sitting at a table. Let's see, a video showing Governor Andrew Cuomo challenging a female journalist to eat the whole sausage in front of him at the 2016 New York State Fair has resurfaced on social media amid allegations that the governor sexually harassed former staffers. Now I'm not gonna read the article. We're just gonna watch the video. Off-color jokes, you say? Yes, Geograph. I know people who make off-color jokes. By the way, okay, hang on a second. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I do have my cup of reparations today. I have it in the Avengers cup. This is like one of my cool cups that, although obviously my coffee is not as warm as it was, because the cup, usually all these letters and stuff go off and it's just the whole picture. But now it's, that's how much coffee I've drank so far. Anyway, I do have my cup of reparations today. So let's talk about this eat the sausage video. And we're just going to watch the video, because it truly is somewhat somewhat creepy, so to speak. And here's Andrew Cuomo in all his glory with a reporter. This is a reporter at the state fair. Now, the woman right here, this lovely young lady right here, if you can you see my cursor? Yeah, I do have my cursor showing. This woman right here, this is one of Andrew Cuomo's children. Okay, this is his daughter sitting right next to him. And the reporter's over here, and we'll just watch this video of Andrew Cuomo putting his best foot forward, so to speak.
Same way, too. Will you eat the whole sandwich?
I will eat the whole sandwich.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, that's a sandwich. Now look, creep video. Oh, I hate it when they put this music in here, because now I'm going to get it. Okay, now here's the reporter. This is a reporter.
It's not as easy to eat this in front of all these cameras as you make it seem.
Well, that's right. That's your thing. Not only do you have to eat the sausage, but you have to...
That's part of the being the governor, right? Learning how
Well, there is a course when you get elected to office. They have a course called Eating on Camera.
And then they take a picture of her with the sausage. Eat the sausage, baby.
Too much sausage in that picture.
And that's his younger daughter, Michaela, clearly uncomfortable watching this scene unfold. Ew. Yes. Yes. Creepy Cuomo. Okay, and this music is going to get me one of those things, but, maybe I should mute this. Here, let's mute the rest of that. Anyway, For all the idiots in the comments, here's a hint. The sausage actually means his penis. I know, crazy. Wait a minute. Did this guy really think that he had to explain this to us? Look at that. Here we go. For all the idiots in the comments, here's a hint. The sausage actually means his penis. Penis. He wrote penis. I know, crazy, right? It's almost like he's sexually harassing her in front of everybody, and they're just okay with it, probably because they're used to it. Well, I got a feeling Joe is me. This guy is probably knows a thing or two about sexual harassment too. I bet he's one of those male feminists. Anyway, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I shouldn't have said that. Hello, Spambot22. Hello, Check Your Logic. Anyway, so yikes and gross. They always do it so openly. Just goes to show there won't be consequences. So again, here's the thing. Perhaps if I'm with a group of people who I know really well, okay, like really well, like we're all friends, we've been friends for years and we make sex jokes all the time, then I could see making that joke in front of people, especially if you know that they're not people that you're not trying to hit on or anything like that, or not trying to make sexual innuendo. But this woman is not related to Andrew Cuomo. She's a reporter. And the girl next to him on the other side is his daughter. I wouldn't, even now, do I make sex jokes in front of my daughter? I don't know if I do or not. I mean, she's 26. Okay, now that my daughter makes innuendo jokes once in a while, so I suppose innuendo is fine if you're grown and you're friends and you know each other, you know there's no creepy vibe between the two of you and stuff, or, you know, people you know really well, but this is a reporter at some state fair function in front of all these other people. It's probably a little embarrassing. Now, look, I am far, far, far from being prudish, but she's a fine individual. There's a close-up of the reporter, Beth Cephalou. But so I don't know, and maybe they knew each other. Maybe there's something that you know about each other, but still, I guess in the era of Me Too, I suppose 2016 wasn't Me Too era, but still, it's just, I don't know, maybe in a setting that's more appropriate, or in a setting where you know everybody, or everybody's making those types of jokes. But I don't think his daughter was making that kind of a joke. So I don't know. Just weird to me. Now there is there's a lot of backlash for this stuff that's going on with Andrew Cuomo, and it's still, look, I still say that, because remember, everyone who's making these accusations and making this a big deal, all are Democratic operatives. Now, I am not saying that there is any kind of conspiracy going on here, but it's fascinating that over the last few days, we've been spending so much time on, highlighting Andrew Cuomo's supposed inappropriateness as far as, being a sex pest, okay? And still, notice what we're not talking about with Andrew Cuomo. All the dead bodies. It's fascinating that we're spending all this time on his possible picadillos, and as opposed to the possible dead grand fellows. Anyway, so now Meghan McCain, here's the thing, Andrew, his brother yesterday made a big deal about now I'm not, I'm not covering. I know what's going on with my brother, but I can't cover it because I'm his brother. Well, Meghan McCain, who I sometimes agree with, sometimes I don't, has spoken out. Now, why Meghan McCain? Well, anyway, Meghan McCain is flaming Chris Cuomo, his brother, for his response to the Andrew Cuomo accusation. So apparently, she's another one of those clocks. You know how the broken clock is right twice a day? Well, I think Meghan's is just a slow clock. Okay. She might be right or right more than once a day, but well, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, she has lashed out at CNN anchor Chris Cuomo after he publicly addressed the accusations against his brother, Andrew Cuomo. McCain said Monday evening in a tweet that the way the Cuomos handled their public relationship was part of the reasons Americans didn't trust the media. Oh, well, yeah. Hello, Anna Lynn. And good morning, Keenan, too. There you go. How you doing? So anyway, here's her tweet. Because here's Chris Cuomo's statement. Listen to this. Oh, hang on. It's going to pop up here in a second. Here's Chris Cuomo. Of course, Brian Stelter tweeted this of Chris Cuomo making this statement
Let me
on
say
CNN
something.
because now here's the problem with Brian Stelter doing this, and Brian Stelter got a lot of comments on this, not a whole lot of retweets, a lot of likes. He says Chris Cuomo at the top of Cuomo Primetime tonight. And he's quoting Chris Cuomo, so I'm doing Brian Stelter quoting Chris Cuomo. Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother. Okay, I'll let him say it himself. Anyway, here's Chris Cuomo.
Before we start tonight, let me say something that I'm sure is very obvious to you who watch my show. And thank you for that. You're straight with me, I'll be straight with you.
Okay, hold up. You're straight with me, and obviously I'll be straight with you. I'm not so sure about that, Chris. I've seen you interact with Don Lemon, but let's continue.
Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, I cannot cover it because he is my brother.
Oh, wait a minute. Because you could sure cover it when it was him being the hero of the COVID-19 governor response action team. You covered it a lot. In fact, you brought out some multiple size Q-tips because that was funny when you were covering the obviously the deaths of all the people he's killing. But it's funny, and then also you couldn't, and that's right, you couldn't cover the fact that his state had the most deaths per capita. But and you couldn't cover that he kept sending people to nursing homes. But you did joke about his size of his nose and brought out his giant Q-tip. But okay, what else you got to say here?
Now, of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it.
Have they, though? What
extensively.
Whoa. What did he just say?
Of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it extensively, and they will continue to do so.
They've covered it extensively. You mean like when they were, really, the entire network had the moist tongues for the taint for Andrew Cuomo for quite a while there. I mean, talking about a tongue bath. I mean, they got the extra special get up all in there tongue bath for Andrew Cuomo until recently. And now, well, I don't know. I don't watch CNN, so I don't know how much they've been saying about it. But anyway, let's see what else he has to say here.
I have always cared very deeply about these issues.
Always. He's always cared deeply about these issues. But I can't talk about him now because it's my brother, even though I spend a lot of time with my brother on the other half of this screen.
Profoundly so. I just wanted to tell you that. There's a lot of news going on that matters also. So let's get after that.
Let's get after that. Well, good for you, Chris. But Meghan McCain not satisfied, who says, so you interviewed your brother 1,000 times with giant Q-tips joking about his sex life during COVID, but now he's an accused predator. It's a conflict. Hey, all right, way to go. Give me an absolute break, hypocrites. This is ground zero of why the American public doesn't trust any of the media. Well, good for you, Meghan McCain. You go, girl. And if you're not sure what we're talking about with the Q-tips, well, Chris Cuomo spent weeks during the height of the coronavirus pandemic, which took a devastating toll on New York from the earliest days, interviewing his brother on a fairly regular basis as he battled the spread of the virus. But the death toll rose. As the death toll rose, along with questions about the governor's March 25th order that directed nursing homes to accept patients regardless of their COVID-19 status, some began to criticize the joking manner in which the brothers approached those interviews. And speaking of which, when he was making the little Q-tip joke about swabbing Andrew Cuomo's nose, and he brought out that giant special toy Q-tip, which I think is actually I actually think that's actually an anal swab in their family. But anyway, interesting. If this clown show happened on Fox, you'd be raging. Janice Dean fires back at Ana Navarro for defending the Cuomo brothers. Oh, no. Did she defend? Oh, that was in May 20th. Yeah, but Janice Dean was ripping them. And then back here, Meghan McCain challenges Brian Stelter on Cuomo's brother's comedy routine. But he ignored that. I wonder if anyone at CNN will note Meghan McCain speaking out now. So anyway, in the wake of 3 separate accusations of sexual misconduct, Chris Cuomo addressed the reason he was no longer covering the news, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. So, well, good on Meghan McCain. Who's this? While some noted it was probably a right call for CNN anchor to not cover his own brother, many aligned more closely with McCain, saying that was a decision that should have been also extended to the more lighthearted interviews as well. Yeah, he should have never been on there, period. That, whatever. So, too effing late, Janice Dean. Well, Janice Dean lost both her in-law parents, her husband's parents, in nursing homes because of this. Brett Scheer, why was Chris Cuomo allowed to cover his brother's coronavirus response? This was a very convenient discovery of journalism standards for Fredo and CNN. So people are ripping Fredo to shreds, as well he should be. Honestly, I don't care much that he isn't reporting on his brother. Don't expect any reporter to do so, but there is the hypocrisy of the fact that he did not always do so. Exactly, Advocatus Dobley. He should have never been covering his brother in the first place. And that stupid Q-tip stunt they did might have been one of the most insensitive things I've ever seen on a station when people are dying. And I'm not going to give that in the middle of a pandemic. No, it was just inappropriate. And I don't think he should unless probably not a good idea for him to be interviewing his brother, period. All right. Last couple things in Cuomo news. And Cuomo is, by the way, he's lawyering up. Did you know that? I just found this one out. Let's see if I got this centered here. Yes, I do. Cuomo is lawyering up amid Me Too allegations. Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration has chosen a former federal prosecutor. Sorry, little Joe Biden-itis there. Former federal prosecutor and prominent white-collar defense attorneys to deal with the federal probe into whether the New York Democrat knowingly undercounted COVID-19 nursing home deaths. So this is related to his killing grandmas. Elkin Abramowitz will represent the governor and his closest aides, the Wall Street Journal reported. Abramowitz did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Daily Caller News Foundation. 2 different former Cuomo employees, Lindsey Boylan and Charlotte Bennett, and then one non-employee, the third woman's not an employee, but still, have accused the governor of sexual harassment in the workplace. Cuomo's denied the allegation and said that he is often being playful and making jokes I think are funny with employees. Well, you know what? There are reasons not to make those types of jokes and kiss your employees on the lips. Anyway, Cuomo announced Saturday that former federal judge Barbara S. Jones would investigate harassment allegations levied against him, though Jones had worked with longtime Cuomo advisor Stephen Cohen after she left her position as a judge, according to the New York Times. And, I'm just going to skip this. Letitia James, the attorney general, is going to be putting people in charge of investigating the nursing home thing. Who knows what's going to happen with the sexual harassment so-called claims. Again, I think those are I really do think they're just news to make other news go away, if you know what I mean. Anyway, one last thing about Cuomo, though. He has written a new book already, though, and he's going to get it published and out as soon as he can. Okay, this is funny. Oh, it didn't fit. What the hell's going on there? Let's do this. Andrew Cuomo quickly releases his book on how he never sexually abused staff. Just days after Andrew Cuomo was accused of sexual assault, the governor somehow announced the release of his book, Above Reproach, How to Never Be Accused of Sexual Assault. Cuomo's latest gem will masterfully explain how he shouldn't ever be accused of assaulting women. He keeps his female staffers safe, if not safer than he did the elderly folks in nursing homes, the New York Times wrote, proclaiming it an instant bestseller. CNN was so excited to interview the governor on the new book that they bumped a taped interview of the 24 women detailing Cuomo's attacks on them. I read the book, big bro. It rocked my world harder than that chick you forced to date me, CNN's Chris Cuomo said, but I've got to say, you sure won't be accused of sexual assault anytime soon. I mean, you wrote a whole book saying you're innocent. You're so right, brother. It's science, the governor replied. As I outlined in Chapter 2, you got to get each female alone, especially the full-figured gals. And you must place your hands on their shoulder, look them deeply in the eye, and whisper, relax, toots, in their ear. It stops them from being all hysterical and accusatory. Works every time. Update, the paperback will soon be available, which features the governor's bonus chapter, How to Demand the Perfect Office Back Job. Oops, I was going to say blowjob. Back rub. Okay, that's a joke, gang. Oops, I didn't. Now there you go. There's the new book, Above Reproach: How to Never Be Accused of Sexual Assault by Andrew Cuomo. Yes, they chose a great picture of him there. Anyway, this is from the Glorious American, satire for the right and the wrong. Very funny. Okay, no X. You don't have to X it out. This is a joke. This is funny shit. It's funny stuff. Anyway. All right, let's get into some of the regular news now. Besides, I'm sorry, there's a second thing in my description that I got to talk about. And that's what's going on in Canada. Okay, now you Canadians, maybe you can attest to this, but there's a couple sources here. I'm going to just read the summary on the Ace of Spades here, though. But there's a secret Yukon COVID quarantine hotel hiding in downtown Whitehorse. Apparently, and this came from Rebel Media. I don't know if I should take this as a grain of salt or not, but Canadian apparently has, I'm just going to read this off of here. Canada has quarantine hotels, prisons for those who tested positive for COVID or who haven't tested positive, but who have just arrived in the country. And that's bad enough, but even more outrageously, these are like black sites. Their locations are secret and people kept there aren't allowed to know where they've been imprisoned. Any Canadians hear about this out of curiosity? So the police are taking men and women off the street and transporting them to secret locations they are not permitted to know. Does that sound like it's too hard to believe? Is this, I'm just curious. And they've only disclosed the location of one black site, COVID prison, due to a Freedom of Information request. So this is just a blurb from Rebel Media. I'll put the Ace, hang on. I'll put the article on here. The location of secret COVID-19 quarantine site operated by Justin Trudeau's government has been released to Rebel News by the government of Yukon through a Freedom of Information request. The fourth floor of the Coast High Country Inn in Whitehorse has been occupied by Trudeau's government, while the remainder of the hotel is being used by the territorial government. The contractual agreement between the Yukon government and the government of Canada shows that the feds demanded that the location being used for federal occupants and that it should be treated as confidential and that this information not be used, disclosed, or otherwise communicated. And apparently Viva Fry has a video about this. In fact, what I'll do is we're not going to watch it here, but we will link it here and have it in the tabs if you want to watch that video by Viva Fry.
It's not just that what is currently going on in Canada is absolutely...
Okay, hang on. And apparently a woman was sexually assaulted at one of these sites. Because of course, if you're running black site prisons, which you are bizarrely keeping secret from the public, people are going to get the idea that it's Thunderdome. When the government behaves as if there's no law except the Satanist commandment, do what thou wilt, pretty soon many citizens will do likewise. But don't worry, this can't happen in the U.S. ever. In the U.S., illegal aliens crossing the border get full freedom. It's U.S. citizens that are kept in prison. Yeah, that's all crazy. People's Front of Canada, I've heard whispers, but it's not covered by anyone, and it's a little far to drive to see for myself. Well, apparently they're not only in Yukon, but anyway. Hi, W.R. Costin. Nice to see you. There are quarantine hotels for those entering the country, and those taken there aren't being told the location. Interesting, because it's funny because Lady Boomer and I were going to go up just to drive into Thunder Bay to go see the waterfall there when we went on our waterfall trip, and we decided at the end it was just too much of a hassle because they told us that if we went into Canada, we would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And we were just going to go there for like 2 hours at most. So, interesting. Anyway, now some other related news. Apparently 2 years to flatten the curve. I'm sorry, but one of Trump's biggest mistakes was giving this joker a platform to steer policy instead of firing him on the spot. Yeah, apparently Dr. Fauci says it's possible Americans will need to wear masks into 2022, even as the U.S. may reach a significant degree of normality by year's end. And that's a CNN article. I'm not going to click on it. Once you realize the personal ethical standards of policymakers like Dr. Fauci and many of those at the CDC lead them to comfortably misrepresent scientific data in order to achieve public policy goals, it is not just your prerogative to question their science, it's your duty. Wow, that could be a proverb. That could be one of my new proverbs. Hello, LA Prepper. How you doing? Nice to see everybody here. All right, let me go into the reminder phase. Just a reminder, everybody, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you. If you would like to sponsor the show, you could do so through the Streamlabs link or the YouTube SuperChats. And please, if you haven't thought about it, smack that like button like Andrew Cuomo wants to smack that. I tried to say it without laughing. Smack that like smack that like button like Andrew Cuomo would like to smack that ass. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yes, Andrew Cuomo was very, very sorry. I mean, he wasn't trying to offend anybody. He just wants to see your tits. Oh, I am a funny one today. Anyway, all right, let's get on into some other stuff here. Also, by the way, I did link the Rebel News article too, that last article referenced, so it'll be in the tabs today. And by the way, just so you know, if you're new here, anytime I do these shows now, I'm leaving all the news tabs of every story we cover, and I will put them in the description of this video down below immediately after the show. So just if there's an article that you want to go back and read, those tabs are in the description of this video, and they will also be on the Discord server because we post the show and the link to all the news stories in the general section of the Discord server also on a daily. So there you go. Good morning, Renee Mayette. Oh, are you out of here? Thanks for the stream. Have a great day, y'all. Okay, well, we'll see you later, and you can watch the rest on replay. So there you go. All righty then. Let's see. Moving on. Now I have some odds and ends to go through. Apparently, Donald Trump said that he had requested 10,000 additional National Guard troops at the Capitol prior to the riot, but was rejected. Interesting. Now, I think I know what he's talking about here, because he did offer troops to the Washington mayor, and she rejected that idea. Anyway, days before the Capitol riot on January 6th, President Trump personally requested that 10,000 National Guard troops be deployed at the Capitol over concerns of the crowd size, and probably over the concerns that his crowd would be attacked by, who would attack a group of Trump supporters? I have to think about that one. But anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, the next revolution, he revealed on The Next Revolution with Steve Hilton on Fox News Sunday evening. He said the request was denied over the optics that the troop presence would create. Yeah, it would scare off Antifa people. But anyway, we actually I said, look, this rally is going to be bigger than anyone thinks, because everyone I'd see say we're going to be at the rally. We're going to be at the rally, and I think it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken to before, and I've spoken to very big crowds, hundreds of thousands of people. Trump explained, and I said, you should have 10,000. I think I gave the number. I definitely gave the number. You should have 10,000 National Guardsmen. I think you should have 10,000 of the National Guard ready. They took that number. From what I understand, they gave it to the people at the Capitol, which is controlled by Pelosi, and I heard they rejected it because it wouldn't look good. Actually, I know who rejected it. It was actually the mayor, Muriel Bowser. They offered that. But anyway, I don't know if it's between Pelosi and them. But anyway, so that was a big mistake. Pelosi's office didn't respond to an inquiry from Fox News about Trump's claim, but last month, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said he told a similar story to Maria Bartiromo of the Fox News Business Channel, Fox Business Network, that Trump had issued a direct order to have up to 10,000 National Guard troops available for his rally. Doesn't sound like someone who had incited insurrection now, does it? True. Doesn't sound like that. I wonder if that'll come up in the 9/11 style commission inquiry on the insurrection on January 6th. They didn't like the optics, huh? Anyway, moving on. Here's an interesting article, because now the reason I highlighted this particular article is just it's the Washington Post, and it's an archived article, but listen to the language at the beginning of this article, because this is fascinating. Biden to announce historic partnership. Merck will help make Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine, officials say. The administration brokered the arrangement amid concerns about Johnson & Johnson's production delays. Really? Okay, historic partnership. I'm just curious. Have any pharmaceutical companies ever teamed up to produce anything in the past? And when we got the first vaccines from Moderna, what's the other company? Is it whatever the other company? You guys can know in the chat. Did you recall the Washington Post using this kind of language? A historic. The vaccines came out with historic speed. I don't remember that, but this partnership is historic. President Biden will announce Tuesday that pharmaceutical giant Merck will help make Johnson & Johnson's single-shot coronavirus vaccine an unusual pact between fierce competitors that could sharply boost the supply of the newly authorized vaccine. According to senior administration officials, the officials spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss a matter that has not been announced, and they began scouring Pfizer. Thank you. They began scouring the country for additional manufacturing capacity after they realized in the first days of the administration that Johnson & Johnson had fallen behind in vaccine production. They soon sought to broker a deal with Merck, one of the world's largest vaccine makers, which had failed to develop its own coronavirus vaccine. Now, I just gotta tell you, I'm just curious, and anybody, maybe you have an opinion on this. Do you think perhaps had President Trump, like if he was still president, and I know some of you think he is, if he was still the president, do you think this might have crossed his mind too? Like, or is this something that was part of the whole plan, that if someone got to it first, that the others might also go into production of some of these vaccines? I can't imagine that this idea would have been completely foreign to Trump, seeing as he's got to cut a lot of the red tape and getting the original vaccines out, a year ahead of schedule, right? But anyway, this breathless, these are so, Joe Biden's so incredible that he's gotten this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and they're going to got another company to help make more of it. Of course, we're already doing like almost 2 million vaccinations a day, but with the other vaccines. But hey, good for Joe Biden. I got to tell you. Under the arrangement, Merck will dedicate 2 facilities in the United States to Johnson & Johnson shots. One will provide fill-finish services, the last stage of the production process, during which the vaccine substance is placed in vials and packaged for distribution. The other will make the vaccine and has potential to vastly increase supply, perhaps even doubling what Johnson & Johnson could make on its own, the official said. It's a historic partnership, said one of the officials, adding that the companies recognize this is a wartime effort. Oh, aren't they special? He praised their sense of corporate citizenship. Oh, one of the officials praised themselves. Good for them. Yeah, well done. Anyway, they're not giving any other details, but the Biden administration's effort to ramp up production of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine suggests that it sees the vaccine playing a bigger role in addressing the challenges ahead, such as the eventual need for children's vaccines. Here's the thing. I'm not all that confident that they're even going to need children's vaccines. I'm just don't. I mean, look, maybe, but children aren't getting this. Their incidence of infection is minute, and the danger of them dying from it is even more minute, well less than any type of flus for children. Now, obviously, older people need to probably take the vaccine, but I don't know. This is crazy. Anyway, great. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thanks, Joe Biden. Yes, welcome to Biden's America, where we make vaccines faster, or something like that. Anyway, let's move on. This story, I laughed. I laughed. I cried. I hurled. So Amanda Gorman. Okay, before I even scroll. Oh shoot, I put it on the page already. All right, hang on. Let me get this off here. Who in the chat knows who Amanda Gorman is? If you know who Amanda Gorman is, put it in the chat right now. And I'm going to give it about, 15 seconds of fill time. Hi there. I'm PDawgKnight. Please sponsor the show, because I got to pay taxes pretty soon. Anyway, so Amanda Gorman is the junior poet laureate of the United States of America. Okay, the junior poet laureate, and the junior poet laureate did a poem at the Biden inauguration back on January, whatever it was, 20th, right? And everyone was just falling all over themselves to praise Amanda Gorman. Now, she's a talented young lady. I will absolutely not say anything bad about Amanda Gorman. Her speech had some little overtones that I wasn't exactly thrilled with, but she's a fine individual, young lady who's the poet laureate, a young African-American woman of African descent, with dark skin. Okay. She is the poet kid. Okay. Well, apparently this poem that she did, out, of the, I think the inauguration poem, right? Well, apparently people have been translating the poem into several languages, right? They're just, because, people want to hear the poem in their own language where they live or whatever. I don't know why that's important, but yes, she is it's being translated into other languages. And apparently in the Netherlands, or is it in the Netherlands? Let's see here. I don't know if it's in the Netherlands or not, but the woman who was translating Amanda Gorman's poem into Dutch has withdrawn from the project. Now, I don't know how long it takes to translate a poem into another language. I wouldn't think it to take that long. But Amanda Gorman's Dutch translator has pulled out amid uproar. Wait for it. That she is not. Finish my sentence. Finish my sentence right now. Amanda Gorman's Dutch translator pulls out amid uproar that she's not black. I kid you not. I kid you not. An award-winning author has pulled out of translating inauguration poet Amanda Gorman's work into Dutch because of a furious uproar that a black writer was not chosen instead. Gorman, 22, personally chose Marika Lucas Reneveld, the youngest winner of the International Booker Prize, to translate her collection, The Hill We Climb, according to her Dutch publisher, Muhlenhof. But now remember, let me read the key part of that sentence. Gorman personally chose this woman to translate her poetry into Dutch. But the choice sparked intense outrage with journalist and activist Janice Duell writing in Volkskrant that the translator should be a spoken word artist, young, female, and unapologetically black. Let me remind you something. Gorman chose this woman. Duell called Regneveld, 29, an incomprehensible choice whose hiring was a missed opportunity. They are white. Oh my gosh. Now, wait a minute. This woman checks off some other boxes too. Listen to this. Because listen, this person describing Reineveld says, quote, they are white, non-binary, have no experience in this field, but according to Muhlenhof, are still the dream translator, Duell wrote, using Reinhof's preferred pronouns. So apparently this, I don't even know what Dutch preferred pronouns are, but she used they. Oh my God. Reineveld announced the decision to pull out of the project amid the attacks. So one person, oh my God, again, I'm going to remind you of something very important in this story. Gorman chose the translator. I am shocked by the outroar surrounding my involvement in the spread of Gorman's message, and I understand the people who feel hurt by Mulenoff's choice to ask me. Renneveld wrote, no, it says up here, Gorman personally chose Maria Lucas Renneveld. I had happily devoted myself to translating Amanda's work, seeing it as the greatest task to keep her strength, tone, and style, Renveld's statement said. However, I realized that I am in a position to think and feel that way where many are not. I still wish that her ideas reach as many readers as possible and open hearts, the award-winning author wrote. Mulenoff insisted it was Renveld's decision to resign and reiterated that it had been Gorman's choice while still bowing down to the uproar. We want to learn from this by talking, and we will walk a different path with. So now they're demanding. Okay, okay, hang on a second. So Reinveld's Dutch from the Netherlands, right? Okay, wait a minute. Let me figure this out. So if you're translating something into Dutch written by a black person, you got to be black. So, wait a minute. If I am translating Shakespeare into Swahili, does it have to be an Englishman to translate Shakespeare into Swahili? I'm confused. I am so confused. And if Shakespeare himself said, "Hey Marty," or no, I'll say Igbo because I'm Igbo. I'm half Igbo from Nigeria. So if somebody's translating Shakespeare into Igbo, and William Shakespeare himself rose from the grave and said, "Hey Marty, will you please translate my works into Igbo?" And which I would have to learn Igbo first to translate it, but I would learn Igbo and translate it. Would the Englishman be offended because a black man is translating an English poet and writers? Am I? What? We want to learn for this by talking, and we will walk a different path with the new insights. The publishing house general director, Makaya El Noble, said in a statement, "We will be looking for a team to work with to bring Amanda's words and message of hope and inspiration into translation as well as possible, and in her spirit." Duel acknowledged it with a tweet saying, "Thank you for this decision." I would say, go fuck yourself, Duel, whoever the hell you are. Come on. If I want my shit translated into Dutch, all I want is a native Dutch speaker to translate it. Period. So now let me ask you something. So now if they decide to translate her works into Chinese, do you still have to have a black person to translate it? Or into whatever they speak in Chechnya, or Czech, or Russian, this don't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, that's the world we live in right now, folks. Welcome to hell. My God. Oh my God. Anyway, all right, let's move on. I mean, she chose the person. Oh my God. Unbelievable. All right, let's next article. I'm just this one is funny. Biden removes the mention of Dr. Seuss from Read Across America Day. So have you heard the controversy with Dr. Seuss? And look, Dr. Seuss is from a completely different era. had some stuff that would now he did back in the 40s and 50s that now would be considered racist against, like, especially particularly against some Asian stuff, and he had some old blackface cartoons and stuff that really are obviously not appropriate today. But apparently Dr. Seuss is becoming first of all, they're going to stop publishing 6 different Dr. Seuss books. I don't have that article up, but apparently now Biden also removes mentions of Dr. Seuss from Read Across America today. Now, I grew up reading Dr. Seuss books. My Cat in the Hat and Horton Hears a Who, and I never did read the Lorax, but all the Cat in the Hat books I loved. I loved those books when I was a little kid, and I'm trying to think, Green Eggs and Ham. I mean, those books, and in fact, Green Eggs and Ham might have been the first book that I read. In fact, here it is. Dr. Seuss is out. 6 Seuss titles have been yanked amid a racism uproar. Okay, this is the story on this. They're no longer going to publish 6 Dr. Seuss books over racist imagery. The company publishes Dr. Seuss children's books that said it will stop selling 6 of his titles because they contain racist and insensitive images. Now, when my kids were young, we were part of one of those Dr. Seuss book clubs, so we have every single Dr. Seuss book like ever written, or ever published, and I'm pretty sure I have them back in the storage room back there still. So now those 6 will probably be collector's items. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, Dr. Seuss Enterprises, the firm charged with preserving and protecting the beloved author's legacy, said it scrapped the books because they portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Ceasing sales of these books is only part of our commitment to our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises' catalog represents and supports all communities and families, the company said in a statement Tuesday, which is also the author's birthday. Dr. Seuss Enterprises said it decided last year to stop publishing and licensing the titles, which include If I Ran the Zoo and To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, which we have both of those, McElligot's Pool. Oh, I don't have that one. I don't recognize that one. On Beyond Zebra, know that one. Scrambled Egg Super, know that one. And The Cat's Quizzer, know that one. After consulting with a panel of educators and experts. While Dr. Seuss, whose real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel, remains one of the world's most popular children's books authors, 3 decades after his death, his books have come under fire in recent years for how they portray Black people, Asian people, and other groups. If I Ran the Zoo, for instance, has been panned for depicting Africans as pot-bellied and thick-lipped, as one biography of Seuss puts it, and it also describes Asian characters as helpers who all wear their eyes at a slant from countries no one can spell, notes the 2019 paper on Geisel's work, published in the Journal of Research of Diversity and Youth Literature. And whatever. I to stop publishing them, I don't know. I mean, obviously the imagery is clearly dated. And some of those books, and but sometimes you got to see stuff to understand how things historically were. But I can understand why you may not want them in the school library and maybe have them still archived somewhere else. But anyway, and Mulberry Street, the first children's book Geisel published under his pen name, contains a controversial illustration of an Asian man holding chopsticks in a bowl of rice, whom the text called a Chinaman who eats with sticks. Okay, so obviously dated language. The concern recently came to head around Read Across America Day, a National Educational Association-backed children reading initiative that celebrated the author's birthday. President Biden avoided mentioning Dr. Seuss in his presidential proclamation for Read Across America Day, and a Virginia school district orders its teachers to avoid linking the day with the late writer because research has shown strong racial undertones in many of his books. Okay. So anyway, they're going to stop publishing 6 of those books in the series, and so the next article was about Biden removing mention of Dr. Seuss from Read Across America Day. So both those articles are in here. So here it is. The move comes as Dr. Seuss' work has generated controversy following a study highlighting a lack of diversity among the author's characters. Oh my gosh. Now, when I was a little kid reading Dr. Seuss books, it never once crossed my mind that there was a lack of diversity in the characters. Holy shit. Anyway, of the 2,240 identified human characters, there are 45 characters of color, representing 2% of the total number of human characters, according to a 2019 study from the Conscious Kids Library at the University of California that examined 50 of Dr. Seuss's books. Last week, a Virginia school district ordered teachers to avoid connecting Read Across America Day with Dr. Seuss, even though it's in honor of his birthday. That's when those are the books that kids read. What are we voting on here? Let's see here. Hang on a second. Oh, I see. We're just reading a whole bunch. We're just which 6? They're in the article. I need to buy them for this. They're in the article. It'll be in. You can check the article when you get done here. But yeah, Mulberry Street's one of them. Oh, how many people read and like Dr. Seuss? Press 1 in the chat. Yeah, I got to tell. The reason I began to like to read, because those are the first books I could read, or I learned to read. Because they're just funny books, and they actually, when you learn to read via phonics, that's what made them fun, because of all the nonsensical words in the book. So they definitely I don't know a little kid that didn't like to read Dr. Seuss books. I know my kids loved them when they were little, when they first started to read, especially because those are the books that, again, you had just the nonsensical stuff. Hop on Pop, that Special Can Acid, how you doing? Hop on Pop was my son's favorite book when he was little. He loved that book and thought it was so funny that they were jumping on Dad, and they thought it would be funny to jump on me. So those are the books that kids learn to read. Oh my gosh, it's so disappointing. So anyway, Dr. Seuss is sort of being canceled, not completely, but whatever. All right, moving on. There was a storming of the Capitol, by the way. Well, not the nation's capital, but the Georgia Capitol. Anti-voter ID activists stormed Georgia Capitol. Has anyone called the National Guard yet? She wrote, "This report is officially on a list of things Don Lemon won't be crying about on TV." Georgia's legislators got serious about fixing the nation's voter fraud problem by passing a bill requiring ID to vote absentee. The Hill reported the Georgia State Senate on Tuesday passed legislation that would require voters to submit a driver's license number, state identification card, or a photocopy of an approved form of identification in order to vote absentee in the state. Predictably, the passing of this bill sparked a protest by Democrats on Monday who don't want anyone to know who is voting absentee. Voter ID laws mean less fraud, a thing no Democrat I've ever known wants. Instead, they pretend it's racist to require IDs. They have no problem, however, requiring IDs to get into their conventions. This was the Georgia Democratic Party convention the DNC 2016, where they required photo ID for all delegates. The protest at the Georgia State Capitol was reported to have been joined by Georgia Democrats. Several Democratic members of the Georgia House of Representatives joined in a spontaneous protest against Republican-led election reform bills in the Georgia State Capitol early Friday afternoon. The House members, numbering about a dozen or so, according to 11 Alive's Doug Richard, held signs and chanted in front of the large marble staircase in the Capitol building. Spontaneous? Yeah, right. Whatever the case, the police asked them to leave and mild scuffles followed. But one thing stood out the most is the lack of hyperventilating press coverage of the protest that had elements similar to the insurrection, quote unquote, on the Capitol January 6th. In the video of the Georgia insurrection, because that's what we're calling trespassers at the Capitol now, right? Protesters can be seen ignoring police orders and protesting on Georgia State Capitol grounds, which might not be legal anymore. Has the president issued an executive order banning protests on government property yet? I checked, but there are so many that it would take it would take me till next week to get through them all. Anyway, so some of these were, anyway, so here's some of the protests at the Georgia Capitol, if this ever pops up.
Attention. I am Sergeant Long with the Georgia State Patrol. You are in violation of 1611-34.1.
Go. Step aside, ma'am. Step aside. Now.
You must disperse immediately or you will be arrested. Disperse immediately or you will be arrested.
Anyway, so not so much a storming, but people protesting in the Capitol building, and they're asking them to leave, probably because of, I would say because of COVID protocols, because, you know, got to be careful about that. All right, just a couple minutes left here. I want to check real quick, a couple more thank yous to give here. Thank you so much, Tyler F., Zablé, and Cynical Lindsay for tweeting out the show today. And I just followed you, Zablé, on Twitter, the Twitter thing there. Thank you for doing tweeting out the show. What is this? Oh, some of his previous titles on. Oh, goodness gracious! Have they canceled Agatha Christie yet? I'm gonna not mention that one just because it's YouTube, but yeah. Go look up this on Wikipedia. You can look it up. Look up "And Then There Were None." Do a search for "And Then There Were None," a mystery novel by English writer Agatha Christie, described by her as the most difficult of her books to write. It was published under a different name. That's what you'd have to find out, what the different name was. Again, look up Agatha Christie's "And Then There Were None." Oh, goodness gracious. I'll leave it in the tabs today, in fact. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, I think, for that. So anyway, I told you earlier that Gab had been hacked. If you're on Gab, I am on Gab. I'm not too concerned about it. There's not a whole lot. I don't do a lot of posting on there anyway. But Parler-like site, Gab was hacked. 70 gigabytes of data is now in the hands of an actors group. The breach includes public and private interactions between some 15,000 users. What happened after Parler was shut down? Many of its users flocked to a similar platform called Gab, which was recently hacked. The treasure trove includes both public and private data on 15,000 Gab users, which will provide journalists and researchers, quote, okay, wait a minute. Listen, I'm not familiar with TechSpot, but which will provide journalists and researchers with an important sociological resource? Really? Hacked public and private data, an important sociological resource. Interesting. Earlier this year, it was revealed that social media app Parler had been used as a means to organize the January 6th assault. Okay, that is false. That's completely false, because very few of the people who've been arrested at the Capitol and 6 even had a Parler account. But they say it was used as a means to organize a January 6th assault on the Capitol building. It's funny, you know what? The other day I saw this too, where they said that Parler and Facebook were used And they were talking about, where they were finding video and stuff and live streams from the Capitol. But it's funny how they failed to mention Twitter. And this was on Twitter when I found this. But Twitter, that's where I saw all my information on the Capitol. I don't know. The selfie insurrection. That's what I call it. I got all my information on Twitter. And all the information about what they were doing and the live streams and it was all on Twitter. All the video was on Twitter. And they keep talking about it all being on Parler because Parler's the boogeyman. Anyway, by downloading and archiving almost all the data posted on Parler before it was booted off Amazon Web Services, security researchers revealed the ugly side of a social network that appealed to people with extreme political views. Bullshit. All the video was on Twitter. So that revealed the ugly side of the Twitter social network that appealed to people with extreme political views. Get the hell out of here. 2 months later, a similar thing happened to a different digital refuge called Gab, which is where many of Parler's users migrated after Parler was shut down. Gab existed long before Parler, first of all. And a lot of people who've been kicked off of Twitter and other social media have been on Parler for a couple years now. Anyway, according to Wired, a hacker embarked on a quest to expose Gab's patrons and was able to extract data out of back-end databases using SQL injection vulnerability. The resulting treasure trove spans more than 70 gigabytes of data on the platform's users and includes more than 40 million posts from the site. This represents public and private interactions between 15,000 Gab users and is accompanied by records detailing user profiles, hash passwords, and plain text passwords for groups. There are no images or videos, but this is still an extensive data breach that reportedly includes the accounts of prominent personalities. Now, this is funny, such as former President Donald Trump. Do you know that Donald Trump is not on Gab? Not himself. There is a saved account for Donald Trump. So this whoever found this article doesn't even realize that Donald Trump does not use the Donald Trump account on Gab. Andrew Torba has set aside the real Donald Trump account if Donald Trump decides to go on it. Hilarious. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, same thing. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, why would she have a Gab account? Now, I think Alex Jones might have one, but anyway. The company, however, denies that it suffered a data breach and assured Gab users that their passwords have not been revealed. Now I'm gonna go look up and see if those accounts even exist, other than the real Donald Trump one, which is not Donald Trump. It's Gab who's holding that marker for him. Anyway, DDoS Secrets or whatever has compiled the data, so they basically they're going to start fucking with people who are on Gab. 30 comments. Let me upload all my personal information and pictures to a website where there's a 100% chance it will eventually be hacked. You mean like Twitter or Facebook? They've been hacked too. Anyway, that backwards logic could be applied to any website, even this one. Yep, if they want to track hate speech and violence, I might suggest Twitter and Facebook. Look at groups such as BLM and Antifa Democratic Socialists. Ding! True. Hate is the new love. Their passwords were not revealed, laughing my ass off, but everything else was. I really hate American lawyer speak, so disingenuous. Holy shit. Anyway, it's hilarious. It's just hilarious that they're going to go out and try to be, oh, this person's on Gab. I don't think Lindell's even on Gab, but whatever. Very unlikely since he was on Twitter. Why would he have gone to Gab? Now, he was on Parler for sure. Now, I wonder if they meant in that article that, let's see. Prominent personalities such as former President Donald Trump, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, and InfoWars host Alex Jones. I don't think any of them are on Gab. I know some of them were on Parler. Anyway, Donald Trump was not on either one of them. So that's kind of hilarious. All right, moving on. Just a couple cool things to end the day with. Let me see if I'm going to do these in order. I'm not going to do them in order. If you care about the Golden Globes, I have an article open about it, but I don't care, so never mind. Here's one. History made. History made. Gay polythrouple makes history, lists 3 dads on a birth certificate. Okay, remember I said the title of this Things Come in Threes. What did I say? What's the name of this show? Something comes in threes. Well, here you go. 3 isn't a crowd for these dads. A gay polyamorous California throuple made history in 2017 when they became the first family in the state to list 3 parents on a birth certificate. I know you couldn't wait for this. I've been waiting for this to happen. You know, I knew that someday there'd be a throuple that puts themselves on a birth certificate. Listen to this though. This is amazing. Their reproductive journey and legal battle to become fathers to Piper, now 3, is detailed in 3 Dads and a Baby, out March 9th by Kleiss Press, written by one of her dads, Dr. Ian Jenkins. Okay. If you really want to read the rest of this, I just thought it's groundbreaking news that a throuple, 3 male, whatever, their reproductive journey. I don't know how that's possible. All right, let's see. Biden tells the world America's back. The world isn't so sure. This is funny because this is actually a Washington Post story where for President Joe Biden and his circle, a low point in America's global standing under President Trump came when he blew up a meeting of U.S. allies in 2018, accusing close partners of robbing the United States and hurling insults at his Canadian host. Well, I know that at least he got people to pay their own share through NATO, so I don't care if we insulted our friends. Sometimes our friends need to step up and do their thing, and whatever. So it's too long. And then this was, if it was on the Discord server, it was an article with Ashley Babbitt killing shrouded in mystery. Officer who shot her is in hiding for his own safety. From Real Clear Investigations, as told, 7 people died. Now this is from, it's an article from Real Clear Investigations on NTD. But the first paragraph annoyed me a little bit on this. All told, 7 people died in connection with the U.S. Capitol riot January 6th, but only Ashley Babbitt's death was direct. Okay, this is correct. Only Ashley Babbitt's death was directly caused by violence that day. She was a rioter killed by Capitol Police officer who fired the only shot by any person during the 4.5-hour siege. Yet the story of who he is and why he opened fire remains shrouded in mystery. More than 6 weeks after Babbitt succumbed to a single gunshot wound to the upper chest, authorities are keeping secret the identity of the officer who fired the fatal round. They won't release his name, and the major news media aren't clamoring for it, in stark contrast to other high-profile police shootings of unarmed civilians. The secrecy has fueled internet reports of misidentifying the shooter as a Capitol Police special agent previously commended by President Trump for bravery. The false rumors have triggered threats against the officer. Drawn on interviews with informed sources and available documents, Real Clear Investigation has put together a portrait of the actual shooter and the shooting, which some describe as completely justified and others call murder. The officer who opened fire on Babbitt holds the rank of lieutenant and is a longtime veteran of the force who worked protective detail in the Speaker's lobby, a highly restricted area behind the House chamber. Sources say an African-American. He was put on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal investigation led by the Metropolitan Police of the District of Columbia, which shares jurisdiction with the Capitol Police. The Justice Department is also involved in the inquiry. So anyway, it's just it details what they can about that, and just we still not 100% sure why he felt it was necessary to shoot her. Some people felt it was completely justified. Some saw it as an execution. But it's a good article, a good read. You can check that one out. And then finally, the last ones. Let's see. The last one I would just show you here was this is on the Discord server too. It was kind of cool. This Navy ship came into port with possibly the largest American flag ever put on a ship. Yes, that is to scale. That is a gigantic American flag coming on this Navy ship. The trend of American warships flying even larger flags, sometimes Old Glory and sometimes flags unique to each ship's lore and culture, continues to expand. Seeing one of these fighting ships with a huge American flag unfurled while underway is a stirring sight for countrymen and allies, and an intimidating one for enemies. Multiple ships sailing together in formation, all flying the American flag, which is also the U.S. Navy's national ensign, can be even more impactful. Yet, there's one ship in the fleet that has taken this practice to another level. The Allie Burke class destroyer USS Michael Murphy. Case in point, its grand entrance in the San Diego Bay on February 24th, 2021. And there it is. Now there's the side view, because it's hard to tell how big this ship is from this view. But here it is from the side view, and you can see how enormous that flag is. Here's the video of it coming into port. This is 7 minutes long. We'll see a little bit of it here. Let's move this. Let's move this photo. Oops, we're gonna take that off. That noise is terrible. But look at the massive flag on that ship flying. So, pretty cool stuff there. Wonder if there's a better angle here. Let's see if we can get. They're gonna get another angle here. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway. There it goes, going into San Diego. Oh, wow. Oh, no, that's San Diego. I was looking, that looked a little bit like Long Beach. But anyway, cool stuff. Anyway, if you're feeling your patriotism rise and in your chest swelling and all that stuff, good for you. But now, I need to call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here today. Holy smokes, a lot of likes here today. 30 people left. If you like what we do and you haven't done so yet, remember to hit the like button on the way out the door, and make sure if you are able to share the stream, you can do it on any of the social media up there, or just hit the share arrow down there and send it wherever you want. If you're watching the replay, put a comment in the comment section. And if you want to be a sponsor of the show, there's several ways to do that, all in the description down below. And YouTube super chats during the show. So if you would be so kind, I already said the like button thing. I think that's all. That's it for today. Look, I am so glad that you joined me today. A lot of you have been here the whole show. I like that. I think that's it. What was I going to say? there was one other thing. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Oh, if you're new or haven't done so yet, smack that subscribe button and click the bell so you get notifications. I think that's all I got to say. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. Hey, my name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.